black flag, they say, is out on Unser Sr.
I would think so. I think it'd be hard to get Al to continue on today with that car. Really
there you see him. He's on the outside of the track to turn 6, Chris. That's right at the entrance to the pits, coming back down here to turn 1. Now he comes across the track and comes into the pit area. The leader, Unser Jr., 24 years old. He could become the youngest man to win it all. Elliott with a very good chance here today as well. What a battle they're having. We'll check the points for you between those two. 21 laps are complete, working the 22nd by this time, and there will be 8 to go. Unser isn't giving up.
You can see how hard a hit he gave it from the way that tubing is bent on the car.
Leader Unser Jr. into second. Elliott up to third. Comes Waltrip. Now Waltrip has led time after time going into the last race in the total standings, but he's never won the series. Now here he lies in third. Let's see what happens.
Well, if it finishes now, Little Al will be the winner with 62 points, with Elliott second with 59 points.
Let's go to Ned Jarrett.
Standing by with Al Unser Sr., who has crawled out of the car. Al, tough break out there. What did go wrong?
It all of a sudden got loose. I don't know if I cut a tire or what. It just spun with me, and then after I hit the fence, and then it was all bent.
The damage was just too much to continue?
I spun it again.
Oh, okay. Well, your son's leading out there right now, Al Jr., so I know you're proud of that.
That I am. I hope he wins it.
Okay, well, again, Ken, he has just seen what could have been $150,000 in his pocket go down the drain.
Thanks, Ned.
General Waltrip seems to be closing up a little bit on Bill Elliott here as the race gets closer and closer to the checkered flag. But it's interesting that the speeds, which were over 110 miles an hour per lap at the beginning, have now dropped to almost 109 even, a little bit more than a mile an hour. So the wear and tear taking its toll both on the drivers and the tires.
Young Unser has learned well from his father. He really used sparingly of that equipment. He uses what he has to win, and he leaves the rest for later in case he needs it. There's Elliott second, Waltrip third, Ray Hall up to fourth in those standings.
You know, this will be the year, Ken, of the Indianapolis drivers here in IROC. It's been a stock car province for so long, and now the IndyCar drivers are doing very, very well this year.
And note, too, that Klaus Ludwig is up into the 5th position. Harry Gant's car, running back in the 11th spot, is now pitting. Gant is on pit road with car number 5. He may have cut a tire down. And I am sure, I'm convinced in my own mind, that's what happened. You said that he was really having trouble. Unser Sr. earlier up there in that previous corner, and then it went away. Now with Gant in the pits, we watch him just resting for a moment.
Well, that skirmish early in the race could have brought some debris out there. These tires, as great as they are quite thin, and they can't stand any debris.
On this Saturday afternoon, you're watching Harry Gant get back into it, and up in front, 24-year-old Al Unser Jr. stays in front of stock car great Bill Elliott and the 3-time Winston Cup champion Darrell Waltrip. Here comes Gant back on the track, the defending IROC champion who came from 8th to win it a year ago in the last race. We are at the last race today.
He was in the pits for only 20 seconds. The boys and the crew are doing a good job down there.
There's Bill Elliott, the white car. He's running in that 2nd position and trying to close in on the leader, Unser, and he's picked up a little ground once again. He can't wait for Waltrip to catch him, and yet if Waltrip could collect it in the 2-car draft, that could make it very interesting. 23 laps of 30 are now complete here at Watkins, Glen, New York on this lovely Saturday afternoon in August, watching the IROC 10 finale. Space is just about equal between 1st and 2nd, 2nd and 3rd. Unser Jr. for the Indianapolis car rank stays in front. And if the series ended right now, Al Unser Jr. would take it all with some 62 points. Bill Elliott would finish in 2nd with 59 points. Cale Yarborough would wind up 3rd at 56, and Unser Sr. at 51, but that may change before this day is done. 24 laps are now complete of 30. We'll be back with more from Watkins Glen after this IROC flashback. '85, Michigan International Speedway. Harry Gant, who had started in 8th, battled to the front and then hammered it out in the final lap with Terry Labonte for the race win. Gant pulled even, then surges down the straightaway to a 6-foot victory and the series championship over Darrell Waltrip. Race 4, the finale. Al Unser Jr. stays in front. Darrell Waltrip, who may have been saving his brakes, saving the tires a bit, is trying to close on the second place man, Bill Elliott. There you see the sandwich. The yellow car out in front, Unser, then Elliott, then Waltrip. The fourth place man on the field is Bobby Rahal, and then it's about 2.5 seconds back to Klaus Ludwig in the next position. Right now, as we watch this battle continue up in front, let's go back to the pits. Here's Ned Jarrett.
Well, Ken, let's update you on the 2 pit stops by Harry Gant. They changed the right side tires first. There was nothing wrong with those tires. They came back in and changed the left side tires. They were okay, too. He thought he had a tire going down. But wandering around in the pit, we found Daytona 500 winner Jeff Bodine sitting here in the backup Camaro. Jeff, what's going on here?
Well, I'm just trying to get fitted up for one of these IROC Camaros. I'd like to be in one.
Maybe you can be next year. Now, the NASCAR drivers, some of them are doing pretty well, but some not so well. You grew up in this area here at Watkins Glen. What would you advise the drivers to be doing now?
Well, they really need to be waving at some of my fans down that back straightaway, but if they had me out there in this thing chasing me, they'd be doing a lot better.
Maybe we can get them to give you the key.
I hope so. If I had it, I'd get out there.
Okay, he's anxious to go, Ken, and maybe after winning the Daytona 500, he just might get that shot.
Moving in, Bill Elliott on the charge. The Daytona 500 winner is closing up on Unser Jr.
Jochen Maas, who had moved to 5th place, just made a pit stop for tires. His right rear corner, he's the 3rd car in the picture right now, is dropped out of the 5th position.
And moving up is Ludwig into 5th. Yarborough is to 6th. Hurley Haywood to 7th. Hans Stuck in 8th. Rick Mears is 9th. Maas back there in 10th. And Unser down a lap or 2. And look at this battle for the lead as we get down to decide it all today. IROC 10. And it's one of the 2 of the young lions, one of the very best from the world of Indianapolis car racing. Young Al Unser Jr. is in front and closing up all the time. Bill Elliott, the stock car giant who won 11 Winston Cup races in 1985, right there now, just 3 car lengths away.
That's amazing. Elliott has really moved in there, and with 3 laps to go, I'm sure he's got something up his sleeve.
Waltrip's effort falling back further now, but he has a pretty comforting position. He's got several seconds on the man back behind him, Bobby Rahal. What's the best place to pass? That's the question for Bill Elliott right now.
Well, there's several pretty good places to pass. If you can get out, slingshot by them down the back straightaway, or once you get through the turn there and get the back straightaway, maybe. But there are several good key places to pass here if you get the right position.
Let's see if they're going to be in the right position here, Chris.
Well, you know, Elliott's got quite a record. He was 3rd at Daytona, 4th at Mid-Ohio, and 3rd at Talladega. Never been below 4th in any of the 3 previous IROC races. Then he's up here in 2nd place. It may be his day to win.
That last critical corner right here. Let's see how he'll take it. Turn 1, a perfect place to pass if you have the RPMs built up. Laps running down, coming back to the line with a couple to go this time across the stripe. Unser Jr. stays in front.
Unser's lap speed has dropped to 108.59 miles an hour. It's down almost 1.5 miles from the speed set by his father early in the race.
Driving defensively here, trying to save as much of the car as he possibly can, trying to contain Bill Elliott in the 2nd position. The NASCAR racers go on to Michigan next weekend. The IMSA stars move to Elkhart Lake coming up. And, of course, the kart folks get ready for Pocono, Pennsylvania. And Hans Stuck, he goes back to Germany to get married next weekend. Here they are, top 3. Then a big interval back to Rahal in 4th and a wider interval to Ludwig in 5th. Elliott can win the series 63 to 58. If Junior wins is the latest note we're getting.
If he passes Al Jr., the title is his.